Okay. Yep, looks like we're all live. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Finn here, and welcome back to another live stream. We are back with Storytime. Last, I think about a few Christmases ago, I think it was back in 2020, the bad year, as I like to call it. I read a story of one of my books called Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights, and in that book there was about like three stories. Now we are reading the second book, which is Fetch, and the story in this book is going to be Lonely Freddy. So I'll be excited to be reading that. But first off, I'm going to be doing a Christmas review. So, as for my Christmas, I actually had a good Christmas. I got to see my family like always, and I got a lot of good presents as well. So I'll be looking at those. The first present that I want to show you is it was from my friend from college. His name is Josh, and he got me this book, the Ben Phillips School of Pranks book, which is very good. It has a bunch of different pranks that you can do in real life. And it's really good. You should go subscribe to Ben. You should actually go. You should actually go subscribe to Ben Phillips. Really good. He's really good YouTuber. So I suggest subscribing to him. Let's see. What's next? Ah, yes. The spring Bonnie plushie. Very cool. His or her. I think it's a her because it's got eyelashes. She's got very floppy ears. Do it like this. Yeah, looks pretty good. Very happy. This present it really isn't that much of a Christmas present. It just basically I saw this one day and I just thought, hey, maybe I should buy it. A Mario plush, but instead, yeah, I know, it's mustacheless. But here's something that I was thinking about. So you know how there's going to be a new Mario movie, the new Super Mario Bros. Movie is coming out. Chris Pratt is actually going to be voicing Mario in his normal voice. They're trying to give Mario some sort of Brooklyn accent, so they got Chris Pratt to do it. And it's got other people voicing other characters. Luigi's going to be Charlie Day. Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be Princess Peach. Jack Black is Bowser. Seth Rogen is actually going to be Donkey Kong, which is cool. And I forgot the actor of Toad. So I'm actually going to have a look to see that. But yeah, I just decided to get this Mario plush because it just reminds me of Chris Pratt. Kind of looks like Chris Pratt without the mustache. That's pretty cool. This I've been waiting for. I've been wondering where it is, and it finally came. The Glamrock Dorko plushie. I'm so happy. This is like what? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there was about four Dorko plushies, and this is the fifth one. We have the 5th Dorko plushie. How lucky am I to finally have the 5th one? So cool. It's so cool. It comes with a little guitar. Very cool, and I just love it. I love it so much. I'm very happy. I got the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Diaper Overload is called. Very cool. Let's see what's next. Oh, I got some new Super Smash Bros. Amiibos. First one is Ridley. Very cool. Ridley's a dragon. Next is Wolf. Very cool. Very cool. Actually love the design of this. And last one is Banjo and Kazooie. Very cool. Love it. Love it always, and I always will. Keep it always. What's next? What's next? Ah, yes. Two little Marvel figures. Two little Marvel figures. The first one is Daredevil. Very cool. Daredevil's one of my favorites. And my favorite Spider-Man villain, the Green Goblin. So very cool little Green Goblin figure there. Comes with a glider. Very cool. I was very happy. I was very happy to get this on Christmas Day, as well as Daredevil. Now this present, I wasn't expecting. I actually wasn't expecting to get, but it's actually a very big surprise. Move all this stuff. I'll bring the camera a little closer. Oh God, no. These new Five Nights at Freddy's figures called FNAF Snaps. Alright, so let me just put the camera here. Yeah. I'll turn the camera around. Yeah. So these are FNAF Snaps. Very cool little figures. I'll show you what they. I'll actually show you what they do if I can. The reason they're called snaps is because. Oh God. Yep. Their body parts snap off. You can also take them. You can also see that you can take off their little faces, and the endoskeleton actually shows. You know, I'm gonna have to put the camera there. So I'm gonna put the camera here so I can show you. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, their faces, they come off like this. Their endoskeleton, it shows. And so far the characters I've already got are Freddy. Hold on. Yeah. Oh God, that's facing the wrong way. There we go. Yeah. So I've got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap. Cool thing about Springtrap is he doesn't have an endoskeleton because bloody blah law and FNAF law and stuff like that. William Afton goes inside of the Spring Bonnie suit, gets spring locked, dies, comes back to life, and he looks like this. This is just not really, but I don't really want to explain it that much. But this is what he looks like. Very creepy indeed. So yeah, very cool. Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Foxy, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap. Those are the figures that I've got. Golden Freddy and Chica, they both came with these two sets. Golden Freddy came with the stage set, and Chica came with the storage set. So very cool. Very cool. Alright. This isn't, again, this next one, it actually isn't a not birthday present. Christmas present. It's just something that it's just a little thing that I wanted to get. There's another figure coming along with this. But this one actually just came today. And it's a U2's figure. So yay, another U2's figure. This one is the Pop Goes figure, a FNAF fan game. It's a character from a FNAF fan game called Pop Goes. Get it out of there. Oh, so good. Oh, what's that doing coming off? So yeah, here's the packaging. You can see the shadow. And right there, FNAF Fanverse. Very cool. Oh, yes! There it is inside of the box. I've been waiting so long to get this, and here it is. Oh, so cool. The packaging actually looks really, really good. Very good. Oh, look what it says on the box. Current objective: open this box. Yep. Don't you worry. I will be opening this box because because U2's is such an amazing company that makes really cool figures. Oh, look what it says on this side. It says pop, and I'm guessing the sentence when I open this part is it gonna say goes the weasel? Hopefully it does. You know what? To see the color, to see it a little bit more, I'm actually gonna turn my lights on real quick. There we go. Oh wow, look at that. Very cool. Very cool packaging as well. Okay. Be very careful. Oh, it doesn't say goes the weasel. It actually says Black Rabbit not included. Basically, Black Rabbit is just another character in the game Pop Goes. Let's be very gentle with this figure. All right, it is a very cool figure, and I do not want it to break at all. I actually have my Dorko. Wait, my little Dorko figure from U2's. Stand it up. Perfect. Oh, very delicate indeed. Oh wow. The inside of the box, it kind of looks like a little arcade room. No, you can't really see it because of my phone and stuff like that, but whatever. Oh, wow! This is actually a very cool figure. Look at this. Wow. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. Oh, I love it. So obviously, I've seen pictures of this figure around Google and YouTube and stuff like that. There's actually two more figures. Those two figures are Candy the Cat and Ignited Freddy. Unfortunately, I did not order the Ignited Freddy figure in time. But we managed to order the candy one, which is great, which is just as good. I didn't see any pictures of Candy the Cat all over YouTube and Google and stuff like that. Whatever, I don't care. But it was a cool surprise to see it on YouTube, to see the figure on YouTube's. This stuff can go in the bin, as well as this. I don't need this anymore. So I'll put that in the bin. I'm going to keep the box because, of course, the box does look good. Let's just close the box up. First. Very gently. Because I do love the boxes, and I am going to keep the boxes. Yeah, it says on the bottom right here, very clearly, Fazbear Fanverse. Actually, it doesn't say FNAF Fanverse. It says Fazbear Fanverse collection. This is the 11th one. Possibly the 11th FNAF. Possibly the 11th FNAF box. I don't know. You know what? I'll have a look on Google right now, and I'll see how many. And I'll see if this. I'll just have a look on Google real quickly. I just need to check something on the YouTube's website real quick. Oh no, Five Nights at Freddy's. Ah, beautiful, so beautiful. New figures have actually come out. Of Springtrap, Golden Freddy, and Purple Guy. In my opinion, I don't really like the the Springtrap and Golden Freddy one. Reasons? I do have reasons. One, for Springtrap, he just doesn't look that good to me. The colors don't really look that good, and instead of just like red for the corpse of purple guy, it's just black, and I just don't really like Springtrap that much, but it looks a little bit good. For Golden Freddy, don't get me wrong, Golden Freddy does look good, but my only problem with him is he's got a little broken bit to make it look like he's also withered. I don't really like that much. I wish he was just like normal Golden Freddy. There's actually another figure, the purple guy Sprite. Yeah, just ignore those two other ones, but the purple guy Sprite. I don't really like that one. I don't have a reason for that one. I don't really like it. Now let's see here. Here are the first FNAF figures. Okay, so for Freddy, his box says number 2. Foxy is number 1. Bonnie's that's a surprise. Bonnie's number 0. So it looks like Bonnie is actually the first FNAF character. So it goes Bonnie, Foxy, Freddy, then probably Chica. There's actually another Joko figure, but that was in the FNAF collection. But it's not in the order of the FNAF figures. It's just number 365. And then that Joko figure is the Night Guard one. Vanny is Vanny from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which I will do a live stream. I have it on my PS5, but I actually don't have my PS5 at the moment, which is why I haven't been doing that many videos. Reason for that is my PS5 is broken and I need to get it fixed. So Fanny's number 5. Oh, do these two actually have a number? No, probably not. Forget it. Hold on guys, I'm just trying to find the next figures. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm starting to get confused. I'm starting to get a little confused about this. Number 7, number 4. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I'm getting confused because for Clownrock Freddy, it says that he's number 4. So does that mean Chica's not number 4? Oh no, no, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm being stupid. Chica's number 3. Chica's number 3. Clownrock Freddy is number 4. Vanny is 5. So who is number 6? Oh, Roxanne Wolf is number 6. Roxanne Wolf. Montgomery Gator is number 7. Glamrock Chica is number 8. So who is number? Yes, Ignited Freddy is number 9, and this is what his figure looks like. So he's number 9. Who is? So Candy is Candy's number 10. And of course, as you all know, Pop Goes is number 11. I'm just trying to look to see. Apparently there's another figure called Gold Chrome Freddy. Looks like this, and he is number 13. Okay. Also, also big news. I guess it's big news. Well, it's good news for me because I personally would like to have it. New Dorko U2's figure. Glamrock Dorko, very cool. So it can match my Glamrock Dorko plushie. Very cool. So I'm gonna have to get so I'm gonna have to try and get that before it's sold out. I guess I don't know. So yeah. There's just a little bit of news for you guys there. But overall, this back to the figure. This figure looks very cool. So this is actually the new design for Pop Goes, for the new Pop Goes game that's coming out, called Pop Goes Evergreen. So so I'll be excited to see that all over YouTube, and I hope other people who have ordered this figure have good luck in trying to get it. Let's actually compare it to the Dorko figure. I guess maybe they're the same size. But yeah, I'm happy. Pop Goes is actually one of my... Pop Goes is a really cool character. He's one of my favorites and I like him. There's actually a Pop Goes plush, but unfortunately, I am having bad luck in getting that. So, yes. But overall, I'm happy with the stuff that I've already got. Let me just set everything in place. Green Goblin doesn't want to stand. And there we go. Perfect. Anyway, now that I have reviewed all of the presents that I have or have got, or some of them that I've got, how about we get on to reading Lonely Freddy? So yeah, let's do that, shall we? So let me just turn my lights off really quickly. Okay. You know what? Maybe we should try and get some light in this for maybe my Christmas tree. Yeah. Don't mind that in the background. That's just something that I got last time. Do you think this angle looks good? I think it looks good. You know, it's fine. Because we don't need to see my desk anymore, so it's perfectly fine. And the and for the lighting, yeah, the lighting in my room looks good. Got my nice blue LEDs on. Very nice. Very bright. And so we can get on to reading probably half. I might not be able to read the full story of it, but we'll just see. We'll just see how we get. We'll just see how we get on. All right. But in the meantime, we are going to be reading the first half of it. Let's just say that. So, hope all of you are ready, because I am going to read Lonely Freddy. So here we go. Lonely Freddy. Bad. Alec had always argued. Was such a subjective word. With its very definition, it was determined by someone else's baseline. It was a word that served one purpose to judge, and Alec had been judged his entire life. His first memory was a decidedly terrible one. He was in preschool and bigger than the other kids. Recognizing this advantage at an early age, he found he could move to the front of any line with surprising case. The other kids were glad to play the games he dictated. and he never had to look for a seat at the lunch table. It was only when his preschool teacher pulled him to the side on the first memorable day that Alec had made to understand that he was bad. "You're a bully," the teacher had said to him, a word he assumed was positive, and smiled when she offered it. Instead of patting him on the shoulder like his mom would do when he ate his whole meal, the teacher shrank away from him in horror. In fact, it was that precise expression on his preschool teacher's face that Alec remembered most of all. More than the way the blue plastic chairs in the classroom would stick to the back of his legs in summertime. More than the way a fresh box of unused crayons smelled under his nose. More than the way the canned peaches they served as snacks slid around on his tongue amid the sticky syrup and metallic aftertaste. Alec didn't even remember his preschool teacher's name. He simply remembered her look of horror when he didn't understand that he was bad. As he grew older, Alec came to realize that bad was defined by comparison, and that was mostly a workable construct for Alec. Until Hazel came along. Hazel was who was named after a beloved grandmother Alec had never met. Hazel, whose fine blonde ringlets were twisted under her stiff bows. Hazel, who slept through the entire night with nary a fuss. Alec was named after no one. It was a compromise between the Alexander his mother had wanted and the Eric his dad had lobbied for. Alec's curls were unruly, tamed with water from the tap and a wooden-backed brush. Alec's nights were cleaved by nightmares and bouts of loud wakefulness. For the first 5 years of his life, Alec's behavior was more or less in constant search of the walls separating good landing in uncharted lands. He was not as easily tracked in this new space. He was bad sometimes, yes, but more often than not, he was boundless. He went undiscovered. It was in that space that good and bad didn't exist. If there was no one guiding him to the boundaries, if there was no one watching behavior, if anything was an afterthought, maybe don't single him out as often, Meg, Alec's Aunt Gigi would say. Kids respond so much better than positive reinforcement. Aunt Gigi had also suggested to Alec's mom in that same conversation that she switch to organic milk. The added hormones in regular dairy increased aggression in kids, according to some studies. Aunt Gigi had no children and no desire for any. Alec's mum was often in the mood for advice, and her older sister was always happy to give it. "Gigi, it's not the milk," Alec's mom had argued. "They drink the same milk, and he's not aggressive. He's just, I don't know, he's in his own world. It's like the rules don't apply to him. Well, then you know he'll be a leader when he's older. That's great. Aunt Gigi had persisted. Had poised. I think that's the word. Yeah, Alex's mom had said. Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't seem to like other people much. He's 10, Meg. They hate everyone. Not everyone, his mom had argued. Look at Gavin. Who? Becca's son. That kid who's always smiling at everyone. Isn't that isn't that a that isn't a bad that isn't a bad thing, his mom had said. No, it's a creepy thing, Aunt Gigi had said. Trust me, I don't want more little Gavins running around the world. That's the kind of kid you find standing over your bed one night holding a butcher knife. No thanks. It was time like those that Alec wondered if he'd been born to the wrong sister, and Aunt Gigi was really his mum. But his turned up nose and blonde hair, like hay, were dead ringings for his mum. No question. It was also times like these that Alec wished he wasn't so good at eavesdropping. His parents had both warned him about it many times, but inevitably he'd find himself perched at the top of the staircase, listening to the conversations no one really tried that hard to hide. It was almost like they wanted him to hear. Eavesdropping was how he'd found out about the plan. Alec probably should have seen it coming. It was April after all, the magical miracle month, otherwise known as the month their precious Hazel was born. Alec got a day, the 18th day of August, to be precise. That was the day, that was his special day, when his parents pretended he wasn't a problem. But Hazel got a full 30 days of adoration. Someone's got a special day coming up in 2 weeks, his dad would say. Aren't you excited for your party? His mum would ask, and Hazel's eyes would glitter. And she'd act like it was all too much fuss, and his parents would eat it up. She'd earned it, they would say. She should enjoy it. Then they'd look at Alec and wait for him to agree, which he rarely did. Why bother? It's not like he would change a thing. She'd still get the party. Maybe it would have been decent. Maybe it would have been decent of him, to be nice to Hazel once in a while. But Alec just couldn't see giving his parents the satisfaction. So when he overheard his parents discussing the plan, he was frankly surprised it had taken them this long to come up with it. They must have been behind on their reading. It's in chapter 5. Have you got into chapter 5 yet? Alec's mom asked his dad across the kitchen table, where they stood their decaf coffee that night. I thought chapter 5 talked about letting the child choose his own road, his dad said. That tone of exasperation in his voice was becoming more of a regular thing. No. That's from The Glowing Child, corrected his mum. I'm talking about the planner. This doctor says the glowing child's theories are all wrong. Alec remembered the glowing child method well. Apparently, that author believed every child was simply a blob of clay, waiting to be self-molded, which involved some completely bonkers exercise, like letting Alec rename himself. So he decided on Captain Thunderpants and spent the entire week farting himself around the house and claiming he couldn't help it. It was his namesake. It was his namesake. That wasn't a ridiculous. That wasn't as ridiculous as the time they read that they needed to plant a garden with him so he could nurture something, or the time they were told to go camping as a family to get back to their family familial. I don't really know how to say it. God damn it. Something called familial call. I don't even know anymore, and I don't care. The garden experiment ended when Alec buried his mother's wedding ring in the soil to see if it would grow more diamonds. The camping trip devolved into a sort of Lord of the Fleas or Flies. I don't know, fleas situation after Hazel got a mosquito stuck up her nose, and Alec may or may not have convinced her that it would lay eggs in her nasal passage. The trip really didn't have a chance after that. Mostly Meg, the more we read, the more I'm convinced that none of these so-called doctors know what the heck they're talking about, his dad said. But Alec's mom was not one to be deterred. Well, Ian, what's the alternative? Do we give up? This wasn't the first time Alec had heard a conversation like this one. It seemed to happen in the spaces between every other book that his parents would read to try to understand what their son was just so different than them. It wasn't the first time Alec had heard this sort of conversation, and yet it would form the same hard stone in his stomach every single time. Because no matter how many books they read or gardens they made him plant, or organic milk they poured down his throat, the one thing they never tried was talking to him. Of course, we don't give up, his dad said to his mum, whipping his little teaspoon around the sides of his coffee mug until Alec imagined it forming a little decaf whirlpool against the ceramic. The ceram the ceram the cemat the ceramic. I'm very, very sorry, guys. I can't speak. Where was I again? Oh yeah. Just ask me. Just ask me. Alec whispered. And for just a second, for once in all of his 50 years, his parents were both silent. And he thought maybe he'd heard him. Maybe they'd heard him. Just ask me what's the matter. And if they'd ask, he might have said, I'm not like you, and I'm not like Hazel, but that should be okay. But his parents simply went on talking. "The 5," his mum said. "Can't we just skip ahead to the part where you tell me what we're supposed to be doing?" his dad said. "Just read the chapter, Ian. The party's next week. The party's next weekend, and I think we need to lay some groundwork before Saturday." His dad sighed so heavily. Alec could hear it from the stairs, which is how he knew that his dad would once again read a useless book about some useless method for helping them to understand their enigma of a child. It was the same every time, and because his parents always stashed their collection of parenting books in some super secret location, Alec had never been able to discover, he'd be starting from a disadvantage like always, watching the plan and Chapter 5's contents unfold over the course of the next week. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Alright, I've got a drink. Okay. Alright. Upstairs, in the Jack and Jill bathroom that separated Alex's room from Hazel's, he stared in the mirror and tried to see himself the way his parents did. They saw the same blonde hair, the same light green eyes, and the same jaws set in rigid determination to never hang open in amazement, to never break into an unexpected smile. Alec was nothing if not deliberate. It was only Hazel who occasionally took him by surprise. "Are you okay?" she asked from her doorway, and he fixed his face in annoyance. But he was a little too late in doing so, and he was afraid she'd seen him startled. Why wouldn't I be?" he asked, leveling her with the same type of question he always asked. He had mastered the art of deflection. Hazel shrugged and grabbed her toothbrush, playing at being nonchalant too. But she wasn't nearly as good as it. She wasn't nearly as good at it as he was. "Mom and Dad were acting weird again," she said, shorthand for the what does that say? Shorthand for the explanation. She meant Mom and Dad are picking on you again. But Alec wasn't so easily fooled. His sister was the worst of them. She conned everyone else with her questions that pretended to be innocent, and her smile that might have made everyone else think she meant it. "Don't worry," he said. "It won't affect your party." He'd meant for it to be a slight on her, but she misunderstood and thought he actually cared. "I don't really care that much about the party, you know," she said, looking at his reflection in the mirror instead of looking directly at him. That's how he knew she was lying. She started to brush her teeth, and Alec took a moment to study her as she looked down into the sink to spit. It's almost like she was able to will every part of herself to be perfect. Her hair never frizzed, her nose never ran, her freckles were evenly spaced, and as though they'd never been painted on by a steady hand. Even her teeth were straight. She'd probably never need braces, Alec had started to believe that he'd never get his braces off. "Don't be dumb," he finally said. "Of course you care about your stupid party." Her face flushed at a perfectly even shade of pink. I bet not that many people even come here, she said. Alec couldn't even muster a response to such a ridiculous plea for fake sympathy. He just snorted. "Yeah, okay," he said, and left her to finish swishing the toothpaste from her mouth. The day of getting his own bathroom in his own house with his own rules, and no one to wonder why he was so different than them, that day couldn't come soon enough. Stars had begun to dot the sky when Alex's trance was broken by the creak of the bathroom door on Hazel's side. He waited for the interruption to pass, but the longer he waited, the more it became clear that Hazel wasn't in there to go to the bathroom. After another few seconds, the door to his room from the bathroom opened a crack, and in spilled the blonde curls of his sister as she broke a cardinal rule. "Get out," he said, and she snatched her head back into the bathroom, startled. But that didn't last. Instead, she opened the door a little wider, and to Alex's utter disbelief, she dared to take a step into his room. He watched her look around for a second, as though she'd entered a strange new world, and in a way she had. If he'd ever suspected that she snuck in here when he wasn't looking around, the question was never answered by the way she stared around her now. She was a rule follower, even when no one was looking. She had a "You have a death wish," he said, and he could hear her swallow. Still, she took another step toward him. He had a couple of options. The usual verbal intimidation wasn't working. He could use brute force. Pain. He could use brute force. Pain was an excellent move. He could play her. At charging her. Whip the covers off. Whip the covers off of himself and lunge out of the bed just far enough to chase her off. Or he could exercise physiological trickery. He could lie there perfectly still, saying not even a single word more. He could watch her as closely as he was watching her now. Wait for her to get close and to achieve whatever insane goal she must have for coming in here, and define all logic, and watch her courage falter the deeper she ventured into his room. Maybe it was the thrill of exerting that level of control over the stimulation, or maybe he was curious to see what she'd do. Either way, he opted for the third option, and he waited. Strangely, for as closely as he studied her, Hazel studied him just as closely back. She took another step toward his bed, then another, and though he could tell she was trembling, could see that from the second she popped her head in, she continued to walk forward. It wasn't until she was just another couple of steps from his bed that he noticed she was holding something. She took last 2 steps fast, as though her courage was expiring, and set the thing at the foot of Alex's bed. Then she took 2 steps backward, spinning her heel and sprinting back into the bathroom, pulling the door to his bedroom closed behind her. Alex stared at the book at the foot of his bed for a long time before he finally picked it up. It was green with bold white lettering. The title precisely centered and slightly raised from the jacket. He was flagged with a bright pink sticky note right at the start of chapter 5, and when he opened it, written in the fine pencil script of his mother's careful hand, were notes for his dad and her to follow in the days leading up to Golden Hazel's party. Defying their parents, defying all logic and rules and self-interest, Hazel had stolen the planner from their parents' secret library while they slept, and she had shared it with him. Alex's heart raced as he read through the carefully prescribed steps of chapter 5. The method that promised to turn their bad child good and achieve the familial harmony his parents had read over and over was achievable. Then, when he was done thumbing through the pages, his father hadn't yet bothered to read, but had agreed to try out on their problematic firstborn. Alex stared at the closed bathroom door his sister had gathered the courage to open, knowing the wrath she'd surely incur. Ugh. Let me just take another drink. He wondered for the rest of the night about why she had done it. What sort of game was she playing at? What kind of sorcery was she practicing? Trying to lull him into a false sense of camaraderie. I think that is. Then he allowed his memory to fall backward. He retraced the times he had confused her in the past, the moments he'd simply assumed she was attempting to throw him off of his game. There was the time she baked him cookies in their toy oven after his parents had ignored his pleas for sweets at the grocery store. There was that one moment during the doomed camping trip when she laughed at an unintentional joke he'd made, even as she clawed desperately at her nose for the rogue mosquito. There was that one Mother's Day she added his name to the card because he'd forgotten. Alex stared out his window for the rest of the night until the dotted stars gave away to the blue dawn before sunrise. It was too tempting to believe that his sister had brought him the book because an alliance had suddenly seemed like a good idea. Pardon me. 10 years of watching the uncanny spells she could cast on his parents, and the rest of the world had taught him she wasn't to be so easily trusted. No, he thought as night crept into day. This is just another trick. She'd been able to fool everyone else but him up to this point. A phony peace offering wasn't about to trick him into thinking she was certainly on his side. Still, it unsettled him for a little that he didn't know what exactly she was up to. There was really only one way to solve that mystery. I'll play along, he said. He whispered to himself. She'll know her cards eventually. You're making it too You're making it too complicated, Hazel said. It seemed she was taking to his new alliance with surprising comfort. They were sitting by the pool in the backyard, their feet dangling in the chlorinated water, as the sun beat against their backs. Alec didn't need a mirror to know his neck was starting to glow pink. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the perfect plan, he said. Alec was in such a habit of coldly dismissing her sister. It was exceptionally difficult to pretend to take her seriously. But if he was going to discover whatever trap it was she was trying to lure him into, she had to be convincing. Strangely, though, in pretending to take her advice, he was starting to see her differently. It was weird the way this person he was so closely related to was suddenly becoming whole in front of him, like he'd been living with a hologram this whole time. She was a completely formed con artist. So let me get this straight, she said, rolling her eyes skyward. Your big plan to get Mom and Dad... Oh, sorry guys. Your big plan to get Mom and Dad to stop thinking you're a total sociopath is to act like a total sociopath. After reading chapter 5 the night before, Alec learned that the plan was a grossly simplistic take on the teenaged brain. If parents wanted a well-behaved, predictable child, they simply needed to treat them as the opposite of that. It was the worst. It was the worst in hokey reverse psychologically. Psychology. And nothing irked Alec more than having his intelligence insulted. Ah, my throat. Why is my throat starting to hurt? I'll read a little bit more of this, and then I think I'm gonna end the live stream off there because I think I've got a little bit of a sore throat. Let's just read a little bit more. So his counterplan was simple. He'd just act worse. Way, way worse. He was pretending, of course. He knew his counterplan was a terrible one, but he needed Hazel to be the one to come up with the idea, not him. It was the only way to make her believe he was falling for her gesture of sibling love. Once her guard was down, he'd be able to figure out what she was actually up to. How am I the sociopath in this scenario? He asked, trying hard not to feel offended. It's just an act, he reminded himself. It's just an act. They think the best way to make me good is to treat me like I'm bad, Alec added in mock outrage. If you ask me, that's pretty sociopathic. Now he was fake arguing. That fake acting bad was the best way to counteract his parents' fake anger at his real bad behavior. It was all getting very meta. Alec could feel a headache forming behind his eyes. Okay. I think I'm gonna end the live stream off there, guys. I've got. I think I think my throat is starting to hurt a little. Is starting to get a little bit, just a little bit. So, but I am very happy. I'm very happy that I got to read half of Lonely Freddy, and I'm also very happy that I got to review my Christmas presents and my new Pop Goes figure. I'm also very happy about that. And now I'm gonna end the live stream off there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I just need to check if anything went through in the chat. Hold on, let me just see. No, nothing. No, nothing in the chat went through. Okay, it's all good. But I'm gonna end the live stream off there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and also I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.